Tier 4 Void Glooms in Hypixel Sky, but wait! The Tier 4 Void Gloom is one of the strongest mobs in the game. Even endgame sweats have to put in a lot of effort. And you know what I think of effort. I'm still AFK in YouTube rank right now and we are at 7k, so I would really appreciate if you gently touch the subscribe button. Now how does the Void Gloom Slayer work? First of all, the tier 1 is pretty easy to do. Then the tier 2 looks like he's been going to the gym every flipping hour of every flipping day. Like, what is this difficulty difference, Hypixel? How is this a thing? Then there's the tier 3, which is pretty much like the tier 2, but it's on steroids, so not only is it stronger, it also has more than 60 million HP, and it's very hard for most people to kill. And then there is the tier 4. Not only is it an absolute chonker with 300 million health, it also hits like a truck. The tier 4 Void Gloom has a hit phase of 100 hits, it has beacons in its back pocket that it can throw out, and it will also spawn ice like the tier 3, but their damage will increase over time and become high. You can also sit down in the air and spawn rotating things that hit you for 25% of your health. To AFK this, we have to go further than we have ever gone before, and it all starts with a Legion party. By using full mythic necrotic bat person armor with Legion 5 during Spooky, and then doing a switch to Final Destination back to bat person, and then finally doing a sword and armor swap, all within a super short period, Bayo managed to spawn 2 Hypixel souls. This achievement is a lot more insane than you would think, because it costs 8.5 thousand mana to spawn 2 Hypixels, and they have a combined DPS of 1.8 million if you're using Necromancer Lord. As you can see, everyone in the Legion party was super hyped because it's the second time ever that they have been spawned outside of dungeons. Then it was Mikey's turn, also check his AH for good souls by the way, and he managed to armor swap multiple times and also spawn 2 Hypixels, the third person ever to spawn 2 Hypixels outside of dungeons, and we'll see the first person later in the video. Now the first thing you do when you have this kind of power is obviously try to AFK a tier 4 Void Gloom. The hit phase is pretty fast because you have 2 Hypixels, so 2 mobs hitting it at all times. And in Necromancer Lord, your minimum damage should be 1.8 million DPS, and they can crit and do up to 4 times damage, so up to about 8 million DPS, which is pretty insane. But we encountered a bit of an issue. There are several phases where the mobs cannot hit the boss at all, and this makes it so this is very close. In the end, the first boss despawned when it was only at 3 million HP, and the second boss, well, let's see, this was very close. We still have 1 second left and despawned at 2 million HP. Eventually, we tried out to only wear Necromancer Lord armor, but then this happens whenever too many eyes spawn. But we are not giving up at all. This just makes it so solo AFK tier 4 is pretty much RNG, because you could kill the boss, but it could also survive with only 2 million HP, and that is why we thought of methods with multiple people. So the person that spawns the boss will still be fully AFK and just chilling up there, and the people that are actually damaging the boss, well, it's not really people. No one will be damaging the boss at all. The person that spawns the boss will need full goblin armor. The reason why this set is so important is because it changes your max intelligence to 100, which will be needed for the Creeper Veil. This takes 20% of your max intel when you get hit with damage, so this means 20 if you're in goblin armor, and with Ultimate Wise 5 it's 10. You also need a God Pot for several reasons. First of all, you have the Jerry Candy buff, which gives you 100 extra intel, but this is the most important. You regen 8 mana per second. As you can see, any damage I take takes 10 mana, but since I also regen a lot of mana, my mana is actually not going down. Then you need 2 Necromancers in full Necromancer Lord armor that can spawn 1 Hypixel each. The AFKer can just AFK, and then the Necromancers can just stand there and watch and let their souls do the work. This works very well, and no one has to actually hit the souls, dodge the beacons or dodge the eyes at all. You just have to stand there and watch the souls do their job. You can even make it a lot quicker if you yourself can spawn a Hypixel as well. 3 Hypixels can do a tier 4 pretty quickly, it just gets shredded. Now I hear you thinking, what is this Hypixel soul? How can I get one? How can I spawn one? What can I do with it? Well, I suggest you watch my previous video on all of Necromancy. It will explain how you can get one and several methods how you can spawn it. And although all of the information is in my video, I would also recommend for you to join the Necromancy server at discord.gg/necromancy. Apart from containing all of the info and trusted soul dealers, we'll be also doing Slayer carries and even giveaways of more than 100 million in items for new Necromancers. But I told you there was one person that has spawned 2 Hypixels before Bayo and Mikey even did it, and this person is G Sora. Now this is the clip he recorded of him spawning one. As you can see, he switches to Final Destination and Storm, and then eventually he does the armor and sword swap and manages to spawn 2 of them. Obviously we couldn't let this go to a waste, so we decided to do a couple of tier 5 revs. And take a look at this. So the boss spawns, and then it hits him, and then the boss dies. And both of us were pretty confused, because this boss literally just got bonked into another dimension. The summons actually crit. Let's take a look at it in slow motion from my perspective. So the boss spawns, and then it hits him, his souls start attacking and crit it, and just demolish it pretty easily. Now this is pretty quick, right? So I mean, if you want a Slayer carry, yeah, just hit up the Necromancy Discord. There's so much stuff we still need to discover about Necromancy, so join us and help us find out new stuff to break the game. Also, you may notice the person on the left of my screen. Yes, there's somewhat of a cult that has formed on my island, where people are just AFKing and pretending to be statues. Now, I find this pretty funny, and this is why I have put down a social display. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Also, a big thanks to everyone who helped with the Legion party. You are the real G's.